In today's competitive job market, having hands-on project experience can make all the difference when it comes to landing your dream role or acing an interview. And that's why we have crafted this exciting project, the Smart Incident Assistant for Urban Safety using Azure AI Foundry. In this session, we'll walk you through building a multimodal RAG agent that can analyze real-time incidents, retrieve crucial data, and generate actionable insights for urban safety. Not only will you learn cutting-edge AI techniques, but you'll also gain practical experience that can set you apart in job interviews and give you the edge employers are looking for. We're also hosting a free live masterclass on how to land a high-paying job in the field of AI, machine learning, and generative AI. We have helped 45,000 plus individuals land their dream jobs. So don't miss out this opportunity. Register through the link in the description below. So let's get started.
So, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Greetings for the day. Welcome to a project session wherein we'll try to understand about multimodal, I can say, RAG on Azure. And there are lots of things that we can look into apart from just showing you a lab demonstration, which is good enough. But there are other aspects also that we can touch base. And there are agentic things that Microsoft has introduced. There is something that has come up in the market, a new thing that has come up in the market. Even I am looking into that, which is MCP, Model Context Protocol. Okay, it helps you to be able to create your agent without defining the tool. Okay, because the tool definition, the resource definition, and the prompt definition are all there as a part of schema, which is part of open source. So there are lots of things happening up with respect to AI 102, or you can say with respect to artificial intelligence and generative AI right now. And people are really diving into MCP right now. Okay, that is also one thing that right now did excite me personally. All right, so I need to touch upon the basic concepts. So first of all, I would like to tell you what is RAG, and then we'll understand what is multimodal, and then we will try to understand how to implement this multimodal RAG on Azure as a use case. We'll look into that aspect also, right? So we'll look into all this aspect, and before we look into that, let me just pull over one document that can be helpful. Okay. So right now, just to show you, we can first, I'll just show you, since we are aware about portal. So we'll go to the portal, and here we do have, those who are new, just to give you an insight, we do have something called as Azure Machine Learning, okay, which helps us build our own model. Then we also have Azure AI Services, okay, which helps us use existing pre-trained model from Azure to build the solution. So here we build our solution. We do not build the model. We build solution using pre-trained model. Okay, generally those are going to be type of deep learning model. Okay, which can help you resolve issues related to, or you can say help you solve issues related to vision, okay, language, speech, okay, translations, okay, and so on. Okay, and even document intelligence, okay, intelligent search. You can consider all those things, intelligent search. Now, apart from that, we have one more thing right now, which is called as large language model. In the large language model, well, just to keep it simple, we have proprietary, okay, and we have non-proprietary. We have proprietary and non-proprietary. When we are talking about proprietary, we can call open source, OpenAI's model. We can also say there are other models also, like to keep it simple, there is a model from I think A21, A121, and there are other models also that are available. Okay. Like in the market, there are model available which are you can say proprietary, available on AWS like Cohere, not available on Azure, but available on AWS. Okay, and when we say non-proprietary model, we can call this as open source LLMs also. Okay, wherein we also get an access to the data set so that we can fine tune and we can even publish it as an open source LLM. Okay, in that we have Mixtral, okay, we have Quen, okay, we have Hugging Face, all models, okay, all open source model. We have everything here. Llama model, okay, and there are other also that are available. Okay, so just to keep it simple, when we have this kind of a situation wherein we have Azure machine learning, suppose we train our own model, I want to use it. There is an Azure AI service wherein I like some solutions that I want to use. I also maybe want to use OpenAI's model. I also want to maybe use a Quen model, okay, or maybe a Hugging Face model, open source model. So suppose if I want to use all these things to be able to build my own solution, then I can make use of something called as Azure AI Foundry. Those who have taken the course recently, they must be aware about Azure AI Foundry, but those who have taken the course lately, they must be new to Azure AI Foundry and or maybe not explored the Azure AI Foundry in the way it is available right now. So we have something called as Azure AI Foundry. To use Azure AI Foundry, we can come here and we can just type Foundry and we can go to Azure AI Foundry. To create an Azure AI Foundry, right now you can see all the services, whatever we have, translator, speech, language, machine learning, face API, for document intelligence, everything is being tied to Azure AI Foundry itself. So we can just click on this and we can create an Azure AI Foundry resource. The moment we want to create an Azure AI Foundry resource, let me give it a name. So I'll just give it this a name, the resource group name, and let me just call it as Foundry. Uh, Maybe I'll just give some name, 6 9 or 8 9 something. Okay, I'm okay with the region. If you want to change the region, you can very well go ahead and do that also. Okay, so I'm okay with the region. Now, if I scroll down here, there is one thing which is very important. Whenever you want to use a Foundry resource, which is going to be, you can say, a combination of everything. OpenAI model, open source LLM, okay, Azure services, everything. If you want to use it together, you can make use of Azure AI Foundry resource. But to use it, you need to have a project. So it will automatically create the default project name. If you want to change, you can change it. I'll keep the default project name and let me hit on this validation to be able to create a Azure AI Foundry resource. Okay, so right now I'm creating an Azure AI Foundry resource. Now, once you create an Azure AI Foundry resource, I would also recommend that we can look into the documentation of Azure AI Foundry. Okay, you should always search for service documentation from Microsoft. So I can just search for Azure AI Foundry service documentation, and let me just go to the first page. So we do have documentation of Azure AI Foundry. Here you can actually see everything with respect to Azure AI Foundry. What is Azure AI Foundry? Explore Azure AI Foundry model. How what responsible use of AI may be taken from earlier concepts. And if you scroll down here, you can actually see everything with respect to how to use Azure AI Foundry model. Okay. So feature model, select and deploy model, compare model, learn how to use every information you'll be able to see. So here you can see we can create apps with code. So if you are a SDK, a person who is working with code-based environment, like maybe a Visual Studio Code, how to go ahead and get quick started with Azure AI Foundry, you can check that. Okay, if you want to go ahead and use Azure AI Foundry agent service, then you can check for this also. Okay, if you want to understand governance, okay, like how does the evaluation happen? How does the monitoring of GenAI application happen? All those aspects in Azure AI Foundry, you can check that. Okay, if you want to run your LLMs on your device for free, okay, or other things that you want to see, run Hugging Face model, Azure machine learning, okay, Azure AI service, Azure AI search, because I told everything is integrated, right? You can see it here itself. So suppose if you are interested to quick start, okay, Azure AI Foundry, you can click on this. Now, what is the first thing that you need to see if you want to create an Azure AI Foundry project? I told you to deploy an Azure AI Foundry, you need to create a project. You need to deploy a model. Okay, so right now we have just created a project. You can see this Foundry is going to be part of a project. So let me go to the resource and you will see here, this Foundry is going to be part of a project. So if I come here, you can see that I do have one project and this Foundry is actually part of this project, default project created with a resource. So just to keep it simple, before we go ahead and look into that, I would also like to know, are you all aware about Hub, HUB Hub? Are you aware about Hub? Okay, if you're not aware Hub, I'll just tell you. See, Hub is like a resource group for Azure AI Foundry. Okay, I'll just put it this way. This is like a resource group. You can call it as a synonym of resource group for Azure AI Foundry. or you can say for Azure AI projects, or I'll just say for AI projects. Okay, I'll put it this way. Now, what do you mean by hub? You need to have a hub if you want to deploy multiple projects. Suppose a project number one, maybe I want to like deploy another project. I want to deploy another project. Okay, so if I want to deploy multiple projects, okay, then I can make use of hub. So I can have Foundry one, I can have other Foundry, okay, I can have Foundry two, or you can say I can have project one, project two, project three. So if you have multiple projects, you want to cater to multiple projects, okay, and each project is going to be attached to a Foundry resource, right? So suppose this is Foundry one, okay. Two projects can also use the similar Foundry. That is also one thing that you need to understand. So it can be that two projects can also use the same Foundry, and maybe here I have another Foundry. So what I'm trying to say is when you have a hub, you can deploy multiple projects. For a single Foundry, you need to have at least one project. So I already have a project, okay? But if you would have created a hub, you can search here. If you would have created an AI hub, let me just search here. It does not, yeah, it does not show up directly. But if you go into the Foundry, let me just go into the Foundry. Here you can see we do have hub, and hub is required if you want to create a multiple project. So you can see if you want to create multiple project, first you'll create a hub and then you will have a project on top of it. Okay, that is one of the things. Right now, let me just go to the Foundry. I have a Foundry and I have a project. Right now, if I want to access the Foundry portal, I'll click on this. And rather than doing it this way, let me keep this window open as it is. And let me just open a new tab. So I have an Azure AI Foundry portal. Under this Azure AI Foundry portal, rather than doing anything, I'll click on this Azure AI Foundry. And let me, right now, it might see all the resources that I've deleted. That is one of the issue. Let me click on view all resources. And here you can see what do I have in place. I just have one thing here. Like, what do I have? I have a project and I have one of the type, which is Azure AI Foundry. And I already told you when we have Azure AI Foundry, we have everything within Azure AI Foundry. So what all privileges do we get with Azure AI Foundry? We get OpenAI, Azure OpenAI. We get AI services. Remember this. We also we get AI services and we can get all the LLM models also in place. Open source LLM plus proprietary LLM plus other proprietary LLM apart from open. Okay, remember this as well. Okay, so we can have all those things in place. Right now, what I'm going to do, I'll click on this Foundry. The moment I click on this Foundry, here you can see it is taking me to the project. And this is where I was saying you can connect to Azure OpenAI, you can connect to Azure AI Service, you can connect to everything together via a single Azure AI Foundry endpoint also. So you can use Azure AI Foundry endpoint with this key, or you can use Azure OpenAI endpoint with this key, or you can use this for all the services apart from speech to text and text to speech with this. That will also work. Okay, right now, if you see, I have created a project. The second thing that I need to do is I need to deploy a model. So I can come to the Foundry and here I'm into the project. I can click on this deploy model. Once I go to this deploy model, I can come here and I can deploy a base model. So right now we do have models. Some are logged, but right now you can see that we do have 90 models that are available. So you can deploy any of the Azure model directly from here. So suppose if I want to deploy any of the model, Azure or any other model, I can directly take it from here. So let me deploy a GPT-4 model that I'm going to use. Okay. So right now I will deploy this model in HTTP. So now once I have deployed this model, I can use this model via the endpoint and the key. That is one thing. Okay. And if I want to use it, I have already deployed a model. Now maybe I want to run a chat completion using Azure AI Foundry SDK. So if I want to run a chat completion using Azure AI Foundry SDK, I can directly go ahead and do this kind of a thing. So if you can see, we can set up our environment. So suppose if you're okay with Python, you can select and now you can install Azure AI project and Azure Identity. Once you install these packages, now you can go ahead and take the endpoint. Yes, please go ahead. Your question, you can. Unmute and tell
Yes.
me.
Sorry. So when you created Azure AI Foundry, you
Mm-hmm.
showed an API key,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not this one. The other one when you were showing the list of when you were showing the AI Foundry, the projects, you created a key.
Yeah, yeah, I'll show you. This is what you're saying.
Yes, this one. This
Mm-hmm.
API key, right? The API key and the
Mm-hmm.
endpoint.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to integrate with another application or access this OpenAI project, you use this API key. Now, when you create a model, a new model, when you
Mm-hmm.
deploy a model, you create another endpoint,
That is
right?
what I wanted. Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay. If
Okay,
I come here, okay, the key will remain the same. The only point is you see the endpoint will keep on changing. Okay. You can use
correct.
this endpoint also, to be very frank. The key will be same. You can check the key will always be same. Okay. The
So, so, so
yeah,
the endpoint, both endpoint, you can use either of the endpoints.
yes, absolutely. I tried with this endpoint also, it worked. I tried
Yeah,
with
because
I if you use this endpoint, okay, see to it that the API version matches. So always see to it that your open API version matches. Okay. That will be one of the things. Okay. So the point is you can use this endpoint. You can even use this endpoint, which we have here. Let me just go to my project chart and see. So it's this one. You can even use this endpoint. Even this will work. This will work. Absolutely fine. Okay. Rather than OpenAI, earlier it was mentioned cognitive service.azure.com. That will also work. I have tried both. But the only point is see to it that your what you can say the version, okay, the API version should be correct. Okay, you can check the API documentation also. All right.
Jalal, you mentioned about that you're going with a RAG model, right? So
Yes, yes,
when
we'll
you're
go with that.
saying it's a model, it's an LLM model, right? Not your embedding model.
Can you repeat your question?
The one model that you pointed out here, right? You're adding models to the Foundry
Mhm,
is this
mhm.
LLM models, not your embedding models,
Embedding is also a model, right? It's I can
right?
add an
But
embedding
the
model.
one
Right
that
now,
you
I'm
no,
not
the
adding.
one that you yeah, the one that you added is an LLM, right? Not an embedding model.
Absolutely, it's a LLM,
Okay.
but I will also
Hmm.
add embedding model because I will
Okay.
require
Okay.
an embedding. All right.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll just go to the base model. You can even deploy an embedding. Second, I was about to do, but let me just do it. So we can use any of the embedding model. Let me just go with this. I'll tell you why I'm going with this model. Text embedding 3 small. There is a reason based on the project I am going ahead with this. Because I was finding some difficulty when I was trying to go ahead and use embedding 3 large because it has 1536. This has 1536 vector length, but embedding large had more vector length, which was not able to merge with my Azure AI search because Azure AI search has a limit of vector length of 1536. Okay, it has a vector length of 1536. That's the reason I researched and then I found embedding 3 small has the same vector length as AI search. And I wanted to integrate AI search and you can say embedding model together to be able to build a multimodal RAG. Okay, using AI search to store my embedding. So I wanted to store this embedding that has been created here in my AI search. And that's where the problem lied, wherein 1536 token length was being accepted, but more than that was not getting accepted. So that was one of the things that I had to check. Okay. Now there can be provision to check that also, but I didn't get time to change. Like we can even change this. You can say if I'm getting 3072 vector length, like which is there for 3 large, I need to make a change in the AI search where I need to elastically increase the AI search vector length to 3072. Okay. But it does not have that by default. It has 1536. That's the reason I went ahead with text embedding 3 small. I'll give you an insight about that. Right now, apart from that, I was just talking about Python. So you can now connect to your, you can say endpoint, and then you can go ahead and get a response from a large language model. If you want to chat with an agent, again, you can even go ahead and create an agent. Okay, which can like see agent is more precisely useful. when you want to go ahead and you can say derive some automated task. Okay, that at that point of time, agent can be very helpful. In this case, wherein we are using agent just to write information about, you can say flowers, poem about flowers, it may not be that much helpful, but adding a file, okay, being able to add tools and being able to go ahead and you can say connect to that can be one of the things. Right now, we are not looking into this today, but if we want, we can have separate session for agent also. Taking you ahead, we do have this two aspect right now created. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'll just give you a use case and let me just explain you this use case. This can be helpful. I've just created this use case and I'll just give you an example. Suppose I want to monitor smart incident assistant for urban city. Suppose there are many incident that has occurred and assume this incident has occurred over the past 1 hour. Assume, okay, whatever data I have, suppose this has occurred over the past 1 hour, because to be able to query that kind of a data will not be that much fruitful. Okay, but maybe for over a past 1 hour, I want an assistant that can help me give the information, maybe from the image, maybe from the reports, or maybe from the SOPs. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'll just show you an AI powered assistant, okay, that can analyze and respond to question about incident in urban environments. Okay, it has structured and unstructured data, both the data we have. Okay, so we have some reports like PDF, we have some images, and we also have some SOPs. Okay, so everything that we have is either in the PDF format or in the image format, and we also have something called as, you can say, more in the text format. We have some SOPs. Okay. Now, what are we going to go ahead and do? We are actually going to convert everything into a embedding. And for that, what I'm going to do, see, creating an embedding out of a, you can say, PDF document is not difficult. Creating an embedding out of an image is also not difficult. And creating an embedding, creating an embedding out of PDF is not difficult. And even text file is not difficult. But creating an embedding out of, you can say, images can be a difficult task. So for that, what we can do to create an embedding out of it, okay, embedding out of it, what I can do, I can use, I can generate caption. So what I'm trying to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to use GPT-4o because I want to do a multimodal RAG and GPT-4o can read images, right? So I have a GPT-4o which is going to generate captions for my image. And this captions that I'm going to generate with the metadata that it has, like the image name and everything. Okay, the caption and the name of the image, I'm going to go ahead and pass it then to the embedding model. Okay, so I'm going to pass it to the embedding model, not as an image because embedding model cannot take image, but they can take directly what? They can take directly the, you can say the text. But there was another thing that I could have tried. I could have also tried AI vision to be very frank. The best part about AI vision is it can convert everything, okay, convert the full image, okay, into an embedding. That is also one thing. So right now I have tried what? I have tried to get the caption because it was able to give me the detailed information about the image. But if I wanted to convert the whole image into an embedding and then pass it to an AI search, that would have also been okay. That is also fine. To be very frank, that is also okay. We could have converted the whole image into an embedding and pass it to an AI search, or we could have, like right now, what I have done, I have used a GPT-4o to get the caption and then pass it to an embedding model. So here, the embedding model that will be used is a, you can say OpenAI's or any other similar SLM or LLM embedding models we will use. Okay. But if we would have used this to create an embedding, it would have been whole and soul, you can say a vision embedding would have been. So I'm not using this, but if you want, I can show that also, and I can show you this also. Now, to show you all these aspects, what do I need? If you remember, what do I need? For this, what do I require? I require a GPT. For this, what do I require? To create an embedding, I require an embedding model. For this, what do I require? To get a caption, I require GPT-4o model. And to be able to read this, since this is a normal text file, I can directly read it and you can say I can directly read it and parse it. So what I'm going to do, see, I want to pass everything, pass all my data, okay, as an embedding. So to pass all my data as an embedding, what I'm going to do, I'll define a schema and I'm going to create a JSON schema, which is going to be coherent for all these different types of data. Okay, for this, and this, I will have a similar JSON schema. Okay, so that I can use that JSON schema and I can create an embedding out of it. Okay, so to pass all my data as an embedding, I'll create a schema which will be in the JSON format, and then I will create an embedding from the JSON schema. Okay, so I'll create a schema, but using an embedding JSON schema. So, okay, this is what I have. Okay, now taking you ahead for this aspect, what I'm going to do, 1 second. I already have the embedding model. I already have the GPT, which is going to capture do the captioning. And for my document, okay, I'll just show you my document also. So I do have this document. Let me just show. This is my document. Right now, this is my SOP. So let me just show you my SOP. This is my SOP, which is very easy. You can see. So to convert it into JSON is not a problem. I could have directly converted it into embedding, but I wanted to have a JSON schema for everything. So I have this document. This is my SOP for accident, collapse, electric hazard, fire response, flood response, and pothole repair. Okay. Apart from that, I also have my PDFs. This is where you can say over the last 1 hour, I'm just giving an example. Okay. Over the last 1 hour, this many incidents have occurred and people have written the reports for this. And I have the access to all the report. Okay. So they have written the report. They have, you can say, submitted the report, and it is all stored in the blog. Assume it is stored in the blog. Okay, so I have this report that has been written based on the incident that has occurred. Assume this has occurred over the last, you can say 1 hour, just to keep it more relevant to you. And I have got some data, and here I have some, sorry, not the data. I have got images also, and here you can see I have taken these images from Kaggle. Okay, so I have got these images right now. I can show that I have got some images. Okay, so I have got some images from the Kaggle, and this is the image that I have in place. Okay, traffic, and then we have some images of flood. Okay. And then we also have some images of building collapse. Yeah, I have got this information. So this is some of the information that I have. All right. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do, this is what I have. Now the point to be noted here is we can, for going ahead and extracting this information. Suppose this was not just a normal text. Right now, it is a very nice written text. But suppose it had some table. Okay. Suppose it had some table. Yes, NK, please go ahead.
Hey, Jalal, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is very good example. So I'll relate it to somewhat what I have seen in industry. So primarily in life sciences, right, when the clinical trials, everything happens. I'm trying to just ask one specific question. So these are all documents. We have seen also
Mhm.
scenarios where, let's say, adverse events are reported for any patient. Let's say there's a clinical trial going on and the drug has not acted in a way that is supposed to act. Now the entry point can be any Salesforce system where a doctor goes and he punches and writes some notes and the data comes like in a database form. So how
Mhm.
can those assets also be embedded here? Here you showed me documents,
Mhm.
SOPs, images, but how about like any structured data? Can
It is,
how we will
yes, that is what I am saying. If you have a structured data, there are different
Mhm,
types of layouts. What I'm going to do for this data, okay? Suppose
mhm.
in this document, I have a table, which is a structured information, right? Time
Okay.
in, time out, right? Injury
Yeah.
caused, something similar to that, right? So what I'm saying, that's the reason to parse this information, I am going to use document intelligence. Okay.
Okay.
Why will I use document intelligence? Though this is not required for this case, but consider I have a very complex data wherein I have some text, I have some tabular data, some handwritten
Mhm.
notes. Okay. Something
Yeah.
is there, and I want to go ahead and pass that information. So it would be great if I make use of key value pair. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the reason in for this kind of data, okay, especially for PDF, I am not going to go ahead and use a normal PDF parser text. Okay. I'll not use that. What
Mhm.
I'm going to do, I'll use a document intelligence. All right.
Okay.
So the document intelligence, there are different types of layout. There is read layout, right? Then there
Mhm.
is OCR layout. Okay. And I think there is No, so there is read layout, then there is, I do not remember, there is general document layout, and then there is OCR also. There are different types of layouts that are available. Okay. So if you are looking for just the read layout is going to do what layout is going to read the information without key value pair. Okay, it just reads. It does not attach a key without key. Okay. When you use a form layout, there is another, I do not remember the actual name, but there is a layout called as form or something, which actually keeps the information in key value pair. Okay. So what it is going to do, I'll give you an example. Suppose I have a resume. Okay. In this resume, this is where your address is. Then you have your summary, and then you have your qualification table. Is it okay? So this is your
Mhm.
qualification table. This is where we have our resume summary. Okay. And then we also have, I told here we have our address. Now the point is pretty simple. I'll just put it this way. If I would have used a read layout, it would have considered everything just as a read document, just as a read. Okay. It would have just read. But if I would have used another type of layout, I just give you an example, maybe a form layout, then it will create a key called as address. Okay. And in this key, it is going to store this information as a key value pair. Okay. Then for another one, which is my, what you say, summary, it will again create a key value pair. Okay. For the third one, which is what? My table, right? So suppose it will select a key called as table, and it will again keep this table intact as a key value. Okay. When it keeps intact this as a key value pair, then you run an embedding on top of it. I hope you're getting. You do not break the data.
Yes,
You
Jalal,
just
I get this. Yeah.
all right. So right now, what I'm going to do, I'll just go to the management center. I'll not deploy, you can say, I'll not deploy anything because I already have Azure AI service. So this will give me, if you can see, I can use this endpoint to call computer vision, content safety, document intelligence, language and language translation, and everything apart from speech. So I'll use this key and endpoint rather than creating another uh, thing. Okay, but I need one thing, which is I need an AI search. Okay, let me create an AI search
And
because
Jalal,
that.
one more question. Sorry to
Mhm.
stop you. So
Mhm.
when you create this key value pair or readable format like files,
Mhm.
how the data quality is assessed? Because we are running so many documents, we are
It
trying
it
to.
it stores the metadata. Whenever
Mhm,
you create a key value pair, it stores the metadata. At the back end, there
mhm.
is also something called as similarity search. Okay, and there are
Okay.
different ways to do that. So basically, what it does, I'll just give an example. Though it is right now being available in all the large language model, but
Mhm.
suppose I have a question, very simple question. Suppose I have come to Mumbai and someone has created a very good application which tells me where to travel in Mumbai. Okay, so I'm saying, tell me the best to visit in Mumbai. Place to visit in Mumbai. Now, suppose at the back end, I'll just give you an example. At the back end, there are two documents. Okay. Okay, the developer has kept two documents at the back end. One of the document is from, I'll just say Mahindra Group, okay, Mahindra Holidays. Okay, another document is maybe from you can say TripAdvisor, another company called as TripAdvisor. Okay, now what is the point is in this there is a mention of Taj Hotel. Here also there is a mention of Taj Hotel. Okay, simple. Now I have told tell me the top two places. Okay, two best places I'm saying. What I'm saying, two best places. Now, what is basically going to happen? This two will be the top two documents, right? So what may happen? I may only get one result, which is Taj. If I set right, because I have set I need the top two, right? So it is actually going to query the top two result and give me the result as Taj. But to be very frank, these two places are same, right? This is duplication, correct? So how does this duplication is being taken care? Apart from similarity search, you should also apply something called as diversity search. I want similar result, but I also want diversified result. So if these two results are near to each other within a specific threshold, I do not want to call these two results together. I just want to call one of this result and the next best result may be Marine Drive. Okay. Is it okay? So when we you can say implement diversity search, it will give me two results. It will give me Taj as well as it will give me Marine Drive. I hope that makes sense. So how is this happening? This is basically happening on the metadata, right? It does know that these two data are similar, and it also knows that these two metadatas are different, right? So though the values are same, it will only select one because it knows that the metadata for this is different. Okay, so it will do a diversity search and it will take another. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, and one more thing to be noted, just to keep it simple is, whenever we go ahead and accumulate anything, okay, how does it really work? There is also lots of things, okay, to keep it simple. There is a vector similarity search, simple. There is a vector similarity search that runs, and that is the main point. It runs a vector similarity search. It does a query, okay, and it like the way it has been written, it will do the query and it will also query the metadata. Apart from querying the input, it will also query the metadata before giving us the response. Okay. And apart from vector similarity search, I told diversification also is in place. It does look after diversification so that the same document, if uploaded 10 times, will not be taken into consideration. That can make the result very weak. Okay. So diversification is important rather than just a similarity. All right. Now
So
we
Jalal,
do
when you're
have
using an Azure AI search, I don't think
Mhm.
you don't need to take care of explicitly setting up your vector similarity search
Absolutely, you
or
are right.
right,
Yeah,
because
right.
but what we were using from an industry standard, we were using the ADA embedding model, right?
Mhm.
Along with that, we were using the Facebook Faz similarity search,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that came out there. But when you're saying AI search, we don't need it. Okay, I get it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It automatically incorporates those
Hmm.
I told, right? That optimization technique it is incorporating.
Right. So we don't need to set the temperature and everything because currently we are
Yes,
setting up
yes,
all
yes.
the temperatures, and even in the similarity search, we are passing a k value
Yes,
which looks for the near about k values to be mapped to.
yes,
Okay, got it.
yes. Okay, let me create a search also, and I'll just show you one more thing. Before we go ahead, I would like to ask you so that I can show it via UI and then we can look into another thing. Let me also use something. Let me just create. I have some curiosity. Okay, so let me just go into this. Allow. Okay, let's just say. Just put some images, not all. And let me, the report right now that I have are not matching to actually my image data. So let me just take this images, maybe 4 images, okay, of building collapse. I want the report to be actually matching to this. Okay, so maybe I'll just take 4 images. Need to remember the name, 29.
So General, out of the track, out of the while you're
Mhm,
uploading it, it's bit out of the topic question.
mhm,
So AI search, the Azure AI search is using a vector similarity search, right? What we
mhm.
can achieve through other ways also. So if suppose, for example, if a scenario comes up that the organization doesn't go with an Azure AI search, right? They go with a PG vector search, right? The post-ray
Okay.
vector search. So does PG vector search also supports your vector similarity search, or is it
It does
something
support
we have?
it does support vector similarity search. If you're asking about Azure only, right? Or are you
Hmm.
asking about you are
No, no,
asking
I'm
about
asking
Azure?
of no, no, I'm asking the post-gray vector search because we
Okay,
are currently working in a scenario where we are totally trying to make it cloud agnostic instead of making
okay,
it like specific to a single Azure, specific to a single cloud provider.
okay. I need to check that.
Okay. Okay.
Just create. Till the time, let me go to this resource and let me just explain you something. Has anyone explored this option, import and vectorize data till now?
I did it long back.
Okay, anyone
Long back.
else? Import and vectorize data. This is pretty good. Not
Yes.
just import data. Okay, so this is where the point comes into picture. When you are into import and vectorized data, earlier there were less. Now you can see that you can get the data from any of the source. Okay, even you can say S3 is also there, Amazon S3. You can check the data from anywhere. This is where you can say vectorization comes into picture. Okay, so if you are really interested to, you can say, use something called as Azure AI Vision, okay, to be able to understand the image, then you can make use of this aspect, okay, import and vectorize data. You can even get it via SDK and you can even try it via UI. It actually uses vision to be able to read the images that are available in your system. That is one. Let me just download this. So this is really good. I'm able to get this kind of thing. This is really good. So suppose if someone has created this kind of an image also, we can use
So it basically doesn't needs any captions attached to it, right?
this one. It does not.
Yeah, it does not. Okay, okay.
When we are using this import and vectorized data, it does not require.
So basically, it's using your OCR, right?
No, it's not using OCR. It's actually using Vision's capability to be able to create an
Eh,
embedding, okay, out of
right,
the
right, right.
image
Not
directly.
OCR. My bad, my bad, my bad. It's not OCR. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Vision.
just to keep it simple, let me create something just to showcase. We can create a storage account. I can just hit on this create button. Let me create a storage account in my resource. I'll just create a redundant, local redundant storage account and let's click on this create. The reason why I'm doing this is just to show you the AI vision embedding is really very powerful. That can also be used to be able to do the embedding apart from GPT-4. So to be very frank, if you have any, suppose if you have any technical diagram, okay, that you, like maybe some structural diagram that you have, which you want to analyze, Azure AI Vision does far better work as compared to GPT-4o because GPT-4o is good in captioning. But if you want to understand an architecture or something similar to that, I saw Vision being able to do the things far better as compared to GPT-4.
Mm.
Apart from that, even if you have some like charts, you can use any one of that. But let me just go to this data storage and let me create a container right now.
Okay, so clarify me, please, July. So if we want to create embeddings, right?
Mhm.
So you was that we can use AI vision to create those embeddings.
Yes.
When you create the embeddings, how do you integrate it with your using AI vision? You create embeddings. How do you then integrate those embeddings with if you were to use normal embedding models, OpenAI embedding models, and it creates an embeddings for those, is it going to integrate the
The only
data?
way, the only way we can integrate is the length. Okay, the vector length. I need to check for the vector length. Okay, so the vector length should be the same. If the vector length of your Azure AI Vision embedding, I'll just put it this way, vector length, okay, of Azure AI embedding model should match to the vector length of your OpenAI's or any of the Llama embedding model that you're going. There is a
But
vector
then,
length,
Jalal,
right?
then where it is going to be stored? It is going to be stored somewhere. The vector needs to be stored, right? If you're using multi models there, where
No,
do you
no. The
integrate
point
them?
is, no, no. He's not talking about integrating. He's talking about passing everything together. Right now, if you can see, Azure AI Vision has a embedding which is 1024. Can you see? That is what I wanted to say. But if you check for the vector length, okay, of you can say class 3 OpenAI embedding model, its vector size, if you can see, the default size is 3072 dimension. So if the dimensions are not matching, you cannot pass everything together. I hope you're getting. You can even, if you see, you can even have a parse dimension. You can change the dimensions if you want. Rather than having a 3072 dimension, you can make changes also. That is also one of the things. So what he means, if I'm not wrong, please correct me. He means to see that, say that, like, just to keep it simple, I'm creating some JSON, right? I'll just show you here. So if I come up here, I'm creating some JSON data. Okay. This data, if I'm going to pass it, suppose this is JSON, and this is already an embedding. Suppose I'll just put it this way. This has been taken care by embedding model. Okay, this has been taken again care by embedding model, this one. And this has been taken care, the image one has been taken care by maybe a vision model. You found that the visions embedding are far more better. Okay. Now the point is, if you want to pass all this thing together into AI search, okay, you want to create an
Mhm,
index, right? So for
mhm.
at that point of time, the vector length of everything should be same. And the embedding AI search expects a vector length, if I'm not wrong, of 1536. Okay. So this vector length, and this vector length, sorry, this vector length, this vector length, and this vector length should match to the vector length of the expected value that is there in the Azure AI search. I hope that makes sense. If you want to create a single index.
Yes, but how do you then do it? If since those vector lengths coming from each of them, it's already more than 1536.
Yeah, yeah. So you can downcast them. You can downcast this. But can you increase the size of this? I'm not sure. I think we can add some dummy, place some dummy value like 000, and even have this as 1536. That is possible.
What,
If you see.
you know, one thing, Jalal, what I have experienced from my
Mhm,
experience out there, when we have multi-format documents, right? The best way
mhm.
approach is to create multi-indexes linking with your metadata from one document to the other document.
Can we pass
That's
multiple index together also
no,
into
no, yes.
RAG?
In a file. So what we have done currently right now, we have a set of MD files with different
Mhm.
headers, and we have an index files of the MD in a different format. So currently, all those documents are indexed into a single MD file. But when we are trying to search in a RAG model, we were not able to get the URLs for that particular document. So what we did, so what especially I did is that created all the vectors of all the MD files in one place and stored it separately, and created
Mhm.
an index of the index.md file separately. And in order to bridge the gap, I added a metadata in both the index and said that whatever the document name is there and whatever is matching with the link, let's use those two metadata IDs separately into the indexes. Otherwise, if we
Absolutely.
try to club together, it will be a big mess. Actually, the RAG will not be able to find out things for you.
But if all the documents are similar in nature, then
Okay, if all the documents, when we say all the documents are similar in nature, means the
like
content or
yeah,
the
no, the images are there, right? And for those same
right.
images, I have written the incident. Okay.
Okay,
And
okay. Yeah, in that way, in that scenario, I think we need to make one something unique has to be there, else RAG will not be
yes,
able to
unique will be
find it
there.
out.
Unique will no RAG. To be very frank, we'll just check that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, sure, sure. Yeah, I think we're going in a different way. Okay.
One second, just a moment. I think we can. I have not tried this, but I have tried to downcast. We cannot increase the embedding length, but we can downsample. I told we can downsample,
No,
but we
but if
can't
we
increase.
downgrade it, we might be getting into a loss of data,
That
Jalal.
is
So that might
absolutely. Yeah,
be
I got it. Yeah, I got it. We are okay. Like again, I'll repeat it. Rather than that, see again, what is this embedding? I hope everyone is aware about this vector length, right? What does it have? Aware?
No, Jalal, can you explain,
Okay. Yeah,
please?
I'll just explain you in a very simple way. If aware, that's great. If not, I'll just explain. So suppose I have got something like, I'll just put it this way. I have got king. Okay. I have got queen. Okay. I have got horse, and I have got cat, and I have got rat. Okay. Let me just. So these are my features, or you can say these are my elements. Okay. And each elements have features, right? So these are my elements. Okay. And now I have some features that I want to take care of. Okay. So let me put elements. Okay. Let me put these are my, you can say, uh, rather than features, I can also call them as entities. Okay. Because they are mostly like a name, right? So I have entities, or you can say this. And now I'm saying I have got another thing, which is, let me put it here. I'm going to say features. Okay. Now, features, I'm going to say maybe I'm going to say Royal, okay, handsome. Um, I'm going to say cute. I'm going to say they can take any other features. Maybe dirty. Let us add more feature as beautiful. Let me just add this. I've just added. Now, what I'm trying to say, suppose there is a value given to every word. Okay, I'll suppose. Okay, so just to keep it simple, any word can, any of the feature can take any value between minus infinity to plus infinity. So, what is a vector length? Just to help you understand, if I try to explain you right now, this is the length. Okay, these features are basically what we have. So, if I say are kings royal, you are going to say yes. So suppose this suppose the value is between -1 to 1. So if suppose this is getting a value, if I'm saying yes, so I can say that this are equal to, I'll just say 0.9. Are kings, queens also royal? Yes, they are also royal. Maybe I will give them my model at the back end, okay, which is called as bag of words. Suppose this is also having a value of 0.9. Horse, are they royal? Actually, they are royal in the sense that this is being kept by king, not by queen that much, but kings do keep it, right? And even ride it. So suppose this is getting a value of, I'll just say as 0.75, assume. Cats, queen love cat, right? They do keep cats. So suppose this is also getting a value of maybe 0.7. Not all, but some. Do anyone is royal, cat or rat a royal thing? What do you think? Is a rat a royal thing or not a royal thing? I can put it
Not
like
at all, not at all.
I'm pretty sure that my model, my system, which has been used, that can also say that it will be near to minus. It is that is where we create one. You can say one feature we have been able to mark. Similarly, if I say handsome, queen handsome, it will be a shame for them, right? So we can consider it to be point. I can consider directly as -1, right? For them to be handsome. For king, generally they should be handsome, but there can be some king who are not handsome. So I just put it 0.9. Horse, no chance of them they being handsome, but still someone can categorize. So let me consider it to be 0.2. Okay, cats, they are not handsome. So let me put it as minus based on my data, what it has seen. Now, this is all, there is also a math for this, but consider this is also minus. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Similarly, if I say cute, we will have this as cute, this as cute. Even rat can have some level of people can find them cute, right? But not for horse or not for king. Generally, kings can also be, but not that much, right? Then if I say dirty, I'll give the maximum value to rat. I'll just give it as +1 to be very maximum. Okay, or you can say the maximum that is possible. When I say beautiful, again, I'll give it maximum to 12. So now this is what we call as a vector. Okay, so I'm just trying to help you understand this is the vector. So if I tell you what is the vector length, what is the vector length right now? 5. I'm just giving an example. Okay, consider every word is a, every feature is a vector. So you can say that the vector length is how much? 5. So similarly, if you say 3072, actually each and every word that was there in the center has sentence has been compared against a vector length of 3072. Wherever there was a feature, you will get a value. Wherever there was no feature similarity, you will get a 0. And wherever there was dissimilarity, you'll get some negative. Just to give an example. So you can use a 1536 also. Okay, you can use 3072 also, or you can use if there is any downsize, okay, of 1024, you can even use that. That is not at all a problem until the semantic meaning is getting captured. So the better the length, the more the capturing will happen. The smaller the length, the less the capturing will happen. Still, people do consider 1536 to be a very optimum one to be able to go ahead and give you a semantic. I hope that makes sense. So you can go for higher also, that is good. You can go for lower also, or you can go for you can say an intermediate one. So I did went with smaller because I found that I had to do less calculation. But to downsize is not possible. That is what downsize is possible. To upsize it is actually not. I think not possible. We can still check. All right. I hope that
So,
makes sense.
Gerard, instead of using these numbers and trying to crunch through these numbers or the vector size, we do have a max size, right? And property available for the vectors for the embedding. If we use that one, that should take care of that, right?
That should
or
take
we
care of
need
it.
to?
That
Okay.
should take care of it. If you want to use this, let me just copy, add some images. Okay, and now let me just come up here. I can just go to search and vectorize data. I can select a blob storage. What do I want to do? Do I want to do multi-process text and complex images? I did not see this. This is the first time I'm seeing. So this is far easy, right? To create a multimodal RAG, we can just process text and complex images, chart, diagram, workflow, everything together. So I did not see that to be very sharp. This is really amazing. I think they have added recently. And this is for processing text and simple images containing text via OCR. So if you want to enable multimodal RAG, you can come here. You can select an account. You can select a storage. Okay, so you can select a blob storage. If you want to give a partition, you can do that. Let me just click on next.
But but I was also not aware of it. Now in the RAG model, when you got an option of RAG and multimodal,
Hmm.
in the RAG, Azure says they're going to use OCR, not Azure AI Vision Service. Did you see
Yes,
that when you
yeah,
tried to?
I saw that. I saw that. Earlier it was only, I remember,
Earlier it was a Vision, right?
it was
That's what
only
I
in
read
Vision.
it somewhere. That's what I was trying to ask you. Did you say OCR or Azure AI Vision?
No, yeah, so
Hmm.
right now this is far better, multimodal RAG, diagram
Yeah,
charts,
yeah,
everything being
yeah, yeah.
considered.
Hmm.
And I think it will take ask for different things. Output it will ask, right? So the same option was also there earlier, this option, but earlier option has also been enabled wherein we can have simple text and OCR. Okay. So right now, if you see the same thing, I am also using document intelligence. I am using. Okay, or you can look for extract location metadata from PDF images out. So this is also the extract location metadata from PDF images. Or if you have document intelligence, you can use a multi-service account. I do not have a multi-service account, so I think we can use Azure AI Foundry also. I think it is right now not supporting Azure AI Foundry. Should have been able to take. So I need either what you can say multi-service account or I need a document intelligence. So I need to create that. Okay, so if you want to create, guys, we can create document intelligence. Okay, or if you want to keep it simple like this one, we can just go for this. And because I do not have anything like documents, right? I just have images. Now, do you want to use image verbalization or multimodal imaging? Text and images will be vectorized with a multimodal. This is again pretty good. And this will be text content and verbalized text content will be there. Okay, again, here you can see we can use for image and for text. Again, this is pretty good. You can use it for image vectorization.
Jalal, what is a verbalized text content?
Verbalized means verbal, like more of a speech, you can say. LLM will
Okay,
verbalize
okay,
image, more like a what you
okay.
can say, captionize image. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rather
Okay.
than the same thing that I am using, I am also doing a captionization, right? So if you can see, I am also doing caption,
But
right?
we could have
GPT.
also selected multimodal, right? That
Yeah,
gives you much more facility.
we can use multimodal. I'm just exploring the options myself
Okay,
because I was
okay,
not
okay, okay,
expecting
okay.
this. Okay, so here we can have AI vectorization if you see. And again, I do have Azure AI Foundry, but due to some issue, it is not showing up. So if you can see, we can use, I think Foundry Hub is there, right? What's the problem? No access, it is saying. I already have. Click here to update selected subscription. I already have. What's the problem then? It's not allowing. Wow, this is the thing. It is not allowing me to capture every project. I already have a project created. Or okay, so I could have used Foundry Hub directly to use AI vectorization, or I can create an AI vision and then directly go ahead and explore. That is also. Let me create one second. Just done. So if I want to use this, I can even make use of AI search, sorry, AI vision, which is actually going to be part of computer vision itself. So let me create a computer vision. Okay, there is some issue. Okay, I did not select. Just allow me. Now, till the time it is getting created, I will also do one thing. I can go to my this Foundry. I can go to Management Center in Foundry. I can select my project, and in my project, I want to connect a resource, right? So let me go to connected resource, and now I want to create a connection to maybe Azure AI Search. So I can select this. I can add a connection. Why I'm adding a connection? Because suppose I want to build a RAG, right? A multi-model RAG if I want to build right now, though I'm using multi-model, but I'm not using all the images. If I want to pass multiple things, I can even go ahead and do this. So I've just created a connection. The resource is created. Before that, let me just do one thing. Since we are talking about this, let me go to the storage. Since we have the space, right? So let me go to the container and let us just upload all the informations together. If you want to create a multiple folder also like a directory, we could have done that. But right now, let me just upload everything. So I've uploaded some images. Let me upload all. Let me override some images if there are existing. Let me click on that. Apart from uploading the image, let me upload the SOPs also because this is making sense right now. So let me upload this also. Let me upload some PDFs also that I have. So whatever I will show with the help of SDK, to be very frank, it can also be done via the UI. So we can check both of these. I think it is all done. The resource is also there. Now let me just refresh and let me just select an account. It cannot take any other account. It is a multi-service only, and if that is the case, I need to create Azure AI service. Though it is not available, but if you see here, we have it in the market. Though it is right now more of into the deprivated mode, but here you can see we can create an Azure AI service even. So let me create that.
Well, why are you creating Azure AI services? I thought you already created a standalone um, Azure
Yes,
AI.
yeah, actually I have created vision, but here you can see, it is only saying select a multi-service, right? That's the reason I'm creating Azure AI service. Second thing is, if I go for Azure AI Foundry Hub, can you see Azure AI Foundry Hub? Right now, I
Mhm,
have not created any Foundry Hub. I have only created Foundry project. You remember?
mhm,
I have
mhm.
only created Foundry project. If I would have created Hub, I would have been able to select the Hub. In that Hub,
Okay.
I would have been able to select the project. So rather than creating a Hub, I'm just using an AI vision in which it is asking me to create a multi-service account. It is not giving me vision to be used, right? That's the reason
Okay.
I've created multi-service. Now, if I refresh, I could have used Hub, but I did not have Hub. So let me just check that out now. And now you can see I can say, okay, that's the reason I'm doing. I'll click on acknowledge. I'll click on next. And here you can see I can select my storage account. Okay, I can select my under the storage account. This field is required. I think I already have a container. I think the container is still getting uploaded, uploading the image. Let us just, I've just uploaded some data in the container. I have created a container. So there. Okay, I need a
Right.
container separate for, I think, image, and I need a container separate for this text. That is one of the things that I had to take care. So if I come up here, uh, I think I can only, since I'm saying text and image will be vectorized, it should have been able to take care. Any issue, any concern why I'm not able to see that account blob container? Anyone? I've already
Uh,
got a container.
so you created a storage account, and
Yeah,
when you
and I
create
have a
storage,
container.
automatically it should create a blob storage.
Yeah, I already have a container and I have a blob. So why I'm not able to output it? So you
So
see, I
why
have
don't
a
you click on try create new blob container? Click
yeah,
on
if
that.
you create a new blob container in the same storage account. Why to create a new blob container? I already have. Okay, I can select. Fine. This is good. I hope this will show because I already have, right? Why will I create another? I have a storage. There is some issue there. I have a data container. I'll just select that container, right? Why will I create another?
Hmm.
There is some UI issue. Apart
Oh,
from that, I do not see anything else. Let me just do one thing. If that is the case, maybe some lag with respect to UI. Let me just create data one container here. Okay, let me hit on create. Even if I hit on create, I need to select that, right? So if I select, it should show up here. Some issue. Okay, it shows data one container, but it does not show the container that was already existing, which is strange, to be very frank. So now let me just do
yeah.
one thing. Yeah. So let me just create another container for this data one container. Okay, I already have it. Right? So okay, I'll just use the data. I'll just select this. Second, we'll be taking a break in another 5 minutes. Just allow me. Okay, so if you want to add a directory, you can even add a directory, right? If I want to add a virtual directory, I can do like SOPs. Let me click on OK. Maybe images. Let me just come out of it. I can't see that. Okay. Once I create, I need to use it. I already have created SOPs. Okay, so if I want to upload SOPs, let me just upload it here. This is it. Now let me just come out from here. SOPs I have uploaded. Now let me upload images in another directory just to maintain that segregation of it. So now I can upload images also. Let me work on images. I have images, and let me upload image. Let me upload all the images. Let me create one more directory. And almost done. Just allow it some in the system. Now let me create another. I need to check what is the folder name. I have images, SOPs and PDFs. Let me just use that same thing as PDFs. Or you can give another name as incidents if you want. Let me upload PDFs also. Got multiple PDFs, whatever you want to upload. Maybe I'll just upload some rather than let me just upload something. So this is also done. Now after this, I have this thing in place. I can authenticate. This is automatically authenticated. Now here you can see an indexer. You can run an indexer. I'll just schedule it once right now. Okay. Enable semantic ranker also, which will automatically rank the system. Like best result, it will automatically say based on the search. And now I can hit on this create. This is the object that I'm creating. Multimodal RAG 17512 something. This is pretty good, right? Now I can start searching. And if I want to search something, maybe I want to find, I know my document. Let me just say incident. I have just uploaded some documents. So let me just download the, right now it is not able to find anything, incidents. Let me search again. I think it is still working. 1 second, let me just check if it is all done now. So if I go to indexes, It is still getting populated right now. So I cannot see some document, but within some time I'll be able to see the documents also. Let me ask something for this, maybe. Flood.
Gerald, the storage says 0 bytes, so I don't think any data is there.
Yeah, it is there, but it might take a little bit of time to show up to be very frank. That is one of the things. It does take a little bit of time. Nothing apart from that. We'll just wait. Because we have already created, right? We have just followed the process. So everything is created. We'll just wait. Maybe it will take a little bit of time to show because the things are created, right? You see, status is last run, never it is saying, right? So it is not yet executed, correct? If you want to run, I can just run this. To run the indexer, I think I can run. Just saying successfully started the run, right? Let me now just check. Yeah, it is in progress. So it did not run. It was just created. All right now. After it will run, then we'll be able to see the things. Allow me a minute, please. Just a second. So let it just run. Should automatically run, but now you can see 20 of 20 documents succeeded. It is once this is done, now we should be within some time we should be able to see the index also get populated. We'll just wait. This is one way, to be very frank. Thank you so much for allowing me to take this session. Even I was not aware about this UI aspect, which is already available. So I was doing all the things using SDK, but now since UI is available, this becomes fairly easy for us to understand the high level overview of how the things function. It is still in progress. Once this is done, indexing, then we will be able to see the indexes. Now you can see the documents, right? Now we can search. So let me just see. First incident. Let me just try to give a search. And now you can see 50 results are coming in the worst incident. And now I'm seeing some incident. Incident reported, electrical fault, some information I'm able to see based on some document that was there. Like I'll
So,
just say
Gerald, do we have any images for these documents, for this
image.
worst incident?
No, I just had flood, if you can see. So if I say for flood, you can see I'm getting 52 counts. Okay, so I'll just show you. So do we have some images you're saying, right? Worst incident. So
Yes,
what I'll
yes.
just explain you, I created some random PDFs, okay? And this random incidents are actually not matching to the images. These are some collapse building. Okay, is it fine? There are some collapse building, and I have got another thing which is you can say some random PDFs. But generally, what will happen, whatever you have as an incident, for that, you should have an image, right? So if that is matching, then it will make more sense. Like a metadata, if you remember, you told. So if you have a metadata configuration for this will make more sense. But still, it will
Yeah.
work very well with respect to querying the information. Okay, we can query and try to find if there is any similarity or something similar to that. That is also possible. Right now, once
But
this is
one
done,
thing, Gerald,
yeah.
how can we relate between that document to this image of that
Uh,
particular
yeah, so
incident?
I'll just show you. I'll just show you. Okay. Right now, I told you, right? There should be, if I show you this, there should be an image, right? There should be a reference to the image also to be verified, right? I do not have it right now. I just have something related to electrical fault issues. Okay. Or
No, I
maybe
I
I
get that
have,
part. I get that part. But will AI search be automatically able to relate the document, or we need to add it in the metadata?
it will automatically be able to relate the document while it will go ahead and do the search. I'll just show you that aspect. I'll just show you how does it actually relates. When it is going to query, okay, using, you can say when we are going to build a RAG response, see the moment I say here flood, I'll just put it here. I'll just put it this. I'll just say mm, building damage. Let me just say building safe, something similar. Here I'm getting some information with respect to buildings wherein we do not have where the buildings are safe, or if I say building damage. Okay, so what it is doing, it is not just searching on top of the image, it is also searching on top of fire response SOP. Can you see? Then if I scroll down here, I scroll down here, it is also searching on this as well. Just okay, I found this
Kunal, how do we interpret this output?
This is just a vector representation, right? To interpret this output, what we can do is, I'll just show you. To interpret this output, what we can do, we can go to the project. Okay. You want to ask a question, right? This is what you're saying. This is just a search. It is just giving us the search based on whatever like the keyword is. It will give you the top searches. That not just the top searches. It will rank the search. Whatever is there, it will give you all the search. All right.
Can we put
I'll,
the highest rank search from the same query we did?
highest rank search.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we can check.
whatever the highest score was.
I got it. I got it. I'll just do it right now. Okay. So I'll just say buildings damage. This is the highest rank where I'm getting fire response. Can you see the score is 0.955? Okay. And this is what we are getting for fire response standard operating detection and reporting. Any fire outbreak must be immediately reported to the city. This is the information that we are able to see. Structural audit, damage is structural. Can you see? It does make sense. Okay. And what is the score that it is giving for this? The score is 0.955. Now the point is I need to just be a little patient and go down. Okay, the next score, can you see 0.9499? The next score 0.943. Then I have another thing which is what you can say this embedding. This is coming from the embedding. If I can show you, if you remember, I have an embedding also, right? Vector embedding. So if I can show you, this is okay. Now I have another thing which is building damage. Query type is search. Okay, it is extracting the information based on this. I have specified this content embedding. Okay, I've created this content embedding for the image. So it is now giving an image caption. Can you see? And then it will give me another embedding information. Is it okay? The highest score is coming as, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, and the key is the index key. Is that related to index?
Key is the name. No, this is not. You can say this is a unique index, that unique ID that has been created for
Yeah,
this
in the sense
document.
like after we did that indexing, so this references that.
Yes, yes, yes. This is more
Okay.
like a representation of this text. Okay, key
Got it.
value pair. All right.
Yeah.
Now, suppose if I want to connect here, I can go to the playground. Let us just complete this. We can go to chat playground. Okay, and let me just connect this to maybe a GPT model. Let me just come here. Let me add a data source. Let me select my search. It will just be done with a click, and then we can try to ask questions if you want. This is done. This is also okay. We'll get the search also. Right. Do I need to add vector search to this search? I don't think we need to add vector search. Okay, if we want to do custom field mapping, we can do that. I'll click on next. Semantic or just a keyword search. I'll go with semantic. Semantic configuration. This is already semantically configured. If I would have gone ahead with keyword, let me just check. It would not have taken this semantic meaning that is coming out from here. Okay. So I would not like to have a keyword search on my document. Okay. I would like to have a semantic search and embedding search. Now here you can see this is okay. And let me validate next. Okay, I need to go with API key because I do not have any system managed identity. Now I can just say save and close. And now I have a thing created. Now here, if you want to have retrieve document, only the top one retrieve document, you can get it only for the top one. Let me just put it here. Okay. Apart from that, if I want it strictly to be at a level of 5, I can do that. Okay, I cannot have less than 3, so I need to have 3. Okay, this is fine. Let me put the temperature as maximum response. I'm okay. Temperature, let me put it to 0. Probability, I'm okay. So everything looks to be okay. Now, if you want to ask any question, I don't know. I think I have uploaded everything. let me just put a thing also for this. I have a prompt here. Let me just use that prompt here also. RAG response. Yeah. So let me just use the prompt from here itself. Let me just use this. This is not required. History is already there. Context query answer it will automatically take, right? So this is again not required. Let me just say use the yeah. And just say you are an incident helping city official understand incident. So now let me just say, and if you want to generate more prompts for this, we can even generate the prompts. We have better things. We have question. Getting some prompt. Apart from that, if I want to add some few short prompting, I can do that. And we'll avoid few short prompting if you want. This is okay. Because I already have my data, right? So I'll not use this samples. This is fine, avoid speculation and everything. Now I can just complete. Okay, now if I want to query, we can come from the break and then we'll look into this. Is it okay? I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
So I'll show you some interesting facts that I was able to gather with respect to this thing. Okay. Okay. The reason for my happiness is because I was able to see strange results. And the most important happiness that I have is my application that I have built is far better in response with respect to what Azure is giving directly. Okay, I'll be very honest and I'll show you why. We'll just look into some of the things that we were able to do. Shall we go ahead? So what we have is we have already gone ahead and added the data, which is actually there with us. Let me just put this a little. So we have already added the data. We have also said that told that we want the top result, okay, to come out of it. And we want to at least retrieve 3 documents maybe or 5 documents, whatever you want. Okay, so this is one of the things. We have also set the parameter, if you see. We have set the parameter a maximum response, whatever might be possible. Temperature to 0, probability to max. Fast message that we want to include as much as you want, you can include it. Okay, this is what we have. Now, the point is, I went ahead with my data here. I'll be very honest. I went to the data. I just kept my data in the I gave it to a chat GPT to be able to get some questions for me. And to my surprise, okay, the type of answers that it was generating was not good. I'll just tell you. Okay. So if I say I don't want this kind of an answer, I'll just show you what I will do. Okay, so I want multimodal RAG questions with answer based on what we have created. Okay, and then I'll show you the SDK that I have written. The SDK follows the similar approach, but it is far more better because of the hybrid search that has been created. So right now I'm asking what happened in incident report 12. If I ask this question, okay, if I ask about this question, let me just refresh. So it is very good with respect to, sorry, I have given an answer actually. So let me ask this question. What happened in incident report 12 and let me check it with the GPT answer itself. I'm trying to clean this session. Let me just take it here. When I'm asking this question, you can see that it is able to find the response from the text, which is all good, right? This was a document intelligence thing, which was actually in the form of text, right? So it was able to give me a response from document intelligence. Now, if I ask this kind of a question, my question is very simple. My question is show me collapse or show me collapse building incident with photos. Actually, it cannot show because it has not captured, to be very frank, the photo. It is not a image retrieval system, right? So what I can say, show me, rather than show me, I'll just say, tell me about collapse building insurance. Now, to the surprise, just see the reference here. The reference is, if I show you the reference is the report, incident report, which is a fit because I asked about the incident. But here I am asking about, show me about collapse building. Try to understand, I do have multiple collapse building, okay? And I'm just asking a question. It is still retrieving the information from SOP only. Just see the retrieve information outlines the SOP. Let us just get the response based on the prompt that I have written that is giving me a response. Let it give the response. Okay, so it is giving me some response, but my problem is not the response. My problem is the citation that we have in. So though I'm getting a response, but I'm not liking the response because I'm looking for something related to image also, right? It should have been able to at least create something like, though there is no similarity between those two, okay, but at least it should have been able to create something related to image also. It should have been able to give me a response. So right now it is giving me a response, to be very frank, but this is not at all with respect to image. It is just with respect to SOP document. That's it. Okay. I'm not able to see the output citation, but it does sometimes does not show the citation. Okay. Similarly, what I'm trying to help you understand, let me ask something else. Okay. Let me just make a change. Okay. Okay. I just want to ask related to image because other thing will come up. Okay. So again, this is related to traffic incident. Okay. That were captured in, if you can see, I have images. Okay. And based on this, I should be able to get the response. Okay. So, but when it goes through the information, it does not actually goes ahead and give me the response based on that. I'll just show you. Apart from that, let me just do one more thing. Let me just change the this also. If you want, we can just remove this. I'm not interested to that. This also, let me apply changes. Because for me, the important thing is to be able to retrieve the image content. So let me put the retrieve information to 12. Let me just ask this question. Show traffic incident related information. I'm not asking with respect to only reports. Okay. Captured in over the whole data. Okay. So now if you can see, I'm not getting any response because there was no SOP, I think, related to traffic. If I show you my SOP, okay, if I show you my SOP, I do not have SOP related to traffic. That is one of the things. Do we have any incident related to traffic? To be very frank, I do not have any incident related to traffic. Okay, that's the reason it is saying I do not have any information. Okay, I'll be very honest. That is what is happening right now. Okay, when I'm asking here, the same question, I'll ask this question. Now, what I have done in my system, just to avoid the information, right now I have only passed one data. So I have script for everything else. I'll run you through the script. The point that I'm trying to highlight is, let me just close. Okay. I have again built a system which we will look into. I have not created an embedding of SOP and PDF just to keep the things relevant to image only. Because here I'm not even getting information related to image use. Though I have gone ahead and used an, you can say Azure AI Vision, right? To be able to go ahead and get the embedding of the image. So I should be able to get the response with respect to image, but I'm not getting anything. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is, let me just close this. Delete the Now, what I have done in my system, I have only gone ahead and created the JSON object of my, what you can say, image. So I have multiple scripts. I had the script for captioning of image. I had the script of incident for image, sorry, incident, and I had the script for SOP. I have not executed this two script. Okay, I have just executed this one script. After that, I have created an index by the name urban index. I've just created an index by the name urban index via this. Okay. After creating the index, what I have done, I have gone ahead and prepared a document, and then I have performed a hybrid search. That means I have created an index via this, and then I am doing a RAG response. So let me just run this. I've already executed this. So let me just run this piece of thing. Okay. This is the thing. Let me ask my question. Can you see? Show traffic related information. And here I can get the information from the image. Can you see? Everyone? Okay, I'm getting some information related to image to be very traffic related are the first few. results that I'll get will be with respect to maybe flood also it is giving, but I'm getting some response with respect to traffic related image. Okay. Now, the first response that I'm getting, if I show you, is related to traffic only. Can you see? I hope you all can see. It is related to traffic. The second also is related to traffic. And then I have some another things also wherein flood is there. Maybe there is also some traffic. Okay. Then I have normal images where there can be traffic. Then again, I'm getting some information. So this is working very good. If I show you a RAG response on top of my image, okay, sorry, I'll just run a RAG script on top of my image and let me just ask the same question. Show me some traffic related information captured over the whole data. And now I think it is all fine. Is there any issue? I have run that. I am getting the response, right? There might be some another issue that I can check. But right now I'm getting a response. If you can see the traffic related information captured in the data. And this is only coming from my image caption. But the same kind of parsing that has been done, okay, via Azure AI Vision is actually not able to give me a response here. That is a strange thing. Is it making sense what I'm saying? So the only point is I do not know what goes inside this AI search when it is going ahead and creating a search multimodal RAG. Okay. It is using some, you can say mechanism, right? But what mechanism it is using is not in my control. I need to check that. But when I go ahead and ask this question here also, though I have everything right, see what is the first thing that I'm getting. I'm getting a response only from the standard operating procedure. Can you see? Everyone, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. So I'm getting a response only from standard operating procedure, right? Okay. So what is the problem here? The problem, to be very frank, is only maybe with respect to vision. That can be one of the things. Azure AI Vision. Though I have used Azure AI Vision, they create wonderful embeddings, to be very frank. I have used that, but I don't know what is the problem when it's going through the search. Maybe the issue is with respect to, if you remember, the embedding length. If you remember, it has an embedding length of 1024 and it expects an embedding length of how much? I told you it expects an embedding length of 1536. This one. So maybe because of this, to be very frank, this is actually not even getting captured. Okay, though it is not throwing any error, but this embedding is actually not even getting captured in my index schema, or you can say in the indexes. That can be one of the things because I know that this is the maximum vector length, and here it is. This is the maximum vector length. It does not downstream, and others are you can say or are all taken from Azure OpenAI's model. And if you go to Azure OpenAI model, I have actually deployed a model which is having an embedding length of also 153. Okay, so there can be, you can say, with respect to SOPs and with respect to PDFs, okay, maybe I'm getting like I'm like to be very frank with respect to SOPs and PDF, it is matching to the Azure AI search, hybrid search index, but with respect to images, okay, it is not matching, so we need to match that, right? At least we need to downsize 1536 somehow, okay, to 1024, so that and everything then should come to 1024 so that we can use this Azure AI Vision. Or it would be better if we go ahead and do a captioning using GPT-4o, okay? And after doing captioning with GPT-4o, then we can go ahead and use an embedding model as per the size that is required. Because we can downsize, but not easy to upsize because we don't know which parameters do we need to leave out that. Okay.
So in real time, if we really want to leverage the AI vision, then what is the best option?
I would always recommend that if you want to use Azure AI Vision, I think uh, using in like to be very frank here, it is saying that we can use it, right? We have already used it, but when I'm seeing the result, I cannot see the result, right? To be very frank, you just
Correct.
check that, right? We were not getting the result. If you want
Correct.
to try some another image, maybe, but I don't think the issue is with respect to image because it has the capability, right? Vision has the capability to be able to understand this image, caption it, store it, and then output it. But again, my point is right now, I think it is related to vectorization, which is missing out. So if we want to use that, I think we need to Check whether we can downsize. I'll just put it here. Can we downsize?
Can you search for this collapse of buildings? Because I think traffic was not there, any image of the travel.
Okay, we
Can we
can
search
check that. We
building?
can, we can. I checked for collapse of building also. It did not give an answer. Can you see? The
Oh,
response it gave was only from
only from
Vectorization.
SOP.
Yeah, only from SOP.
Oh,
Okay. And to be very frank, if I do a vector search of everything here, you will see the response will not just come from SOP, though I do not have referenced the information, but you will see that the response, I'll just show you. So I have just created a vector search of one right now, only parsed image. Let me just take SOP also, and let me just do a SOP thing also right now. I have not passed this, but let us just pass this information. Let's extract SOP. This is all done. Now, if this is done, let me just run a vector search on top of it. Vector search is already there. Create a vector index. I just need to run a hybrid search. Before that, I need to prepare the documents. I have uploaded those documents. If you see earlier, there were 129 documents. Now I've uploaded 6 more. Okay. Now it will say uploaded 10 docs because this is just a statement, but it has only uploaded 6. And now what it is going to do, it is going to go ahead and again do my indexing. So it is doing my indexing again because 129 plus 135 will populate here again. So what is basically happening right now is I just have 129. Within some time, you will see it changing because I'm re-indexing. I'll just show you that script also because that script is really important. And then we'll try to ask a similar question to this GPT. We'll just put SOP right now. If you want to put incident, then there are lots of incidents. It will take a lot of time. If you want, you can put incident, but we'll
so the
just go with it.
hybrid search is a combination of all the three searches, right?
Sorry,
The hybrid search is
it's a
combination of.
combination. It's a combination of all three
Okay.
sets.
Okay.
So first, what we are doing, we are creating a vector index. Okay, what will be the type of data that is going to come, and then we are going ahead and preparing the document, and then we will run a hybrid search on top of it. Now I'll just show you the hybrid search right now. It is just this thing. Okay, can you see? I'll ask a question. Tell me about collapse building information. Okay, this is just like getting a query. So when I'm talking about this, can you see it is giving you buildings also, right?
Yeah, so the hybrid search is giving the images also, right? The
Yeah,
building collapse.
yeah, it is giving, it is also taking SOPs. Can you see? It's
No,
taking
correct.
SOPs, but it's not just giving from SOPs, it is taking everything. So that means something has been written correct, right? With regard to that is what is happening, which is not happening via UI. Okay, that is, we'll look into that also. Okay,
So it
now
is
let
only
me,
issuing the RAG response, is that right? Because
now
the
we are first searching everything. Now we'll do the RAG response right away. I just did a search, right? Now let me just ask a question related to building. It is
one
doing a
question.
RAG. Yeah,
Sorry. So in the playground, we searched, right? What was the what were we searching? Is it the RAG response or was it the hybrid search
I think we are doing the, let me
in the
just check.
playground? Yeah, this one.
It is actually a search, right? It is an index which wherein we have already gone ahead and done told hybrid search. I do remember. It is a semantic search, right?
Yeah, semantic search from the document that we
Yes,
prepared.
yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. So it should at least give some response, right? Now here, when it is giving a response, it is coming from the document. See, I'm getting a response about collapse building typically involved. This all information is coming from my document. Image, sorry, image. Is it okay?
No, no. Sorry. I was saying when prepare search documents, right? This is the point I was talking about. Yeah,
Yes.
correct. Is it picking from this, the playground? The information is that
No, no,
picking?
no. This is separate. This is separate. I'm not connecting this to playground. This is separate application. I'll show
Okay.
you how did I build this. This is different. I'm just helping you understand that when I build my own application using RAG and my own search, it worked far better as compared to the UI that I used to build. So we saw the UI, right? in the UI, if I show you, the citation is only coming from documents, right? Though
Right.
I also have images, that's my problem. But I'll just show you right away all this aspects. Others, I hope you're able to make sense what I'm saying. Okay, I'll just delete everything and I'll show you the code that has been written and how has that been created. Let me just do everything, right? So this will just delete the indexes, right? Just do not want it. Let me just let me delete this also. And if you want to keep, we can keep it for some time right now since we have time. Let me just take you through this information. So what do I have in here? First of all, we all know that we have images. Then we know that we have PDFs. And then we know we have SOP. And to be very frank, at least SOP, PDF and images, if they match, that can be good. But consider images to be of maybe earlier time also. I have all the images. Okay. And these are some incidents that have been reported. Some images are there, some images are not there. You can consider anything. Right now, the best part will be if all this data are more of amalgamated or similar kind, then it can be really helpful. But I do have differences, but I'm okay. I have images, I have PDF, and I have SOP. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, first of all, I have created one one file. You can see a Python script. Okay. So I have an SOP directory and I'm saying get me the output in parsed SOP.json format. Right now, the document is blank. What I'm saying, I want to just read because it is just a text file. We know that SOP is just a text file, right? So since it is just a text file, I'm just going to run this to be able to just extract the information in this format. Just see the appendment in the document first time in the file name. Then for the source also, if you want to remove, you can remove. This is same, right? ID and source. So I'm just giving an ID. Then I'm giving the text content as a text. Okay. And then I'm saying the file name. So when I'm going to run this piece of line, let me just run this Python and I'm just going to run extract SOP. It is going to extract everything in the JSON format. I want everything in a proper JSON format because I want to create indexes wherein I would require the things with respect to what you can say with respect to the like when I want to create an index, I want similarity. So I'll have ID content source throughout my document. Okay. Second thing is now I want to go ahead. Let me just let's see, the spelling mistake. So next thing that I want to do is I want to extract incidents. Okay. Now, if I want to extract incident, I want you to again pay attention to this. What I'm saying is I am making use of, there are different types of layout, right? So we have pre-built document layout, then we have read layout, and there are other layouts. General document layout is also. So I'm using one of the document layout. Okay. And then again, I'm saying append it as this ID content, and then source. If we want, again, we can remove one of them because this is just a duplication, but we at least need ID. Okay. So I'm keeping, you can give ID as a random number also if you want to generate, that is also okay. But right now I'm keeping the ID in my system as a file. But if you want to generate random UID, you can do that. So let me just run this. What do you call? Extract incident. Just run incident. Now, what it is going to do, it will take all the PDFs and using a document intelligence, it is actually going to extract the information from the PDF. Once it is all extracted, we are waiting for it. Okay. So once it is all extracted, then only we will go ahead and output it because we are running a for loop here. Okay. So here you can see we are listing all the files and then we are running a for loop. Okay. So it will keep on extracting all the information from this PDF. And though it is a very simple document, but if it would have been a complex document also, then also it would have been able to pass the information. So right now, just running it this way. Let this get executed. Until that time, if you want, I can show you one more lab. Let this get executed. I hope you're okay. Let me just show. Okay, we'll see the multi-model, but let me just open the SERP right now. I'll show you. Are you aware about what is SERP, SERP? Anyone? Aware about what is SERP, SERP?
No.
Yeah, no.
Already. No worries. I'll just search it directly on the Google. What is SERP? Okay. Let me just say SERP full form. And SERP is a search engine result. And this is amazing. Okay. it is a Google search engine result. Okay, Google provides you this. So what I'm going to do, I'll just show you there is something called a SERP API. Why was I interested into this? I'll be very frank, because I found something Google's API SERP, and there is a lot of cost also associated based on enterprise level. Right now, I can do a lot of search. So I can do 100 searches per month. 14 searches since account creation I have done, and I have done 7 searches today. Okay. Now, what does it do is it actually, like, how do you go to Google? Like, if I say what is AI, what happens here is when we do here, we do get lots of results, right? We do get lots and lots of results, right? So these are the pages, and on each pages we are getting 10, 20 results, right? Search is similar to that. It just does a, what you can say, what was the full form? It does a search engine result page. Okay. And after this search, it also looks into the page and it also extracts the information. So suppose I want to, like, why was I interested? I'll tell you the reason also for that. So if I go to my Foundry, okay, and if I go to my view all resources, let me go to my project. So if I go to my project, I wanted to connect to something. So I went to management center, and when I wanted to connect a resource, I found something very interesting there, which attracted me. If I went down, I saw that we can connect a SERP, OpenAI model, API key, custom keys, and application key. So this is a very powerful tool for SERP. That's the reason even Azure has listed it out here. And just to show you, with the help of GPT, we are able to create a very nice application. I'll just show you that application. That will really amaze you. So let me just look. Let me open it in Visual Studio. The first thing that it requires is it requires only two things right now. I'll just show you all that things. So what it requires is a SERP key, which is work. Then it requires an Azure. This is Open API key and a GPT-4o model. You can use any model. So right now I'm going to go here. Just cancel this out.
So why are we using the SERP in this context?
This is just for you to understand that if you want to go ahead and get a response, this is different. This is not
Okay.
RAG. This is, again, this is also a type of RAG, to be very frank, where you are even getting information from external data, right? Right? So just helping you understand that if you want to connect to external system, suppose you're getting a response, right, into your system. But if you also, once, suppose the internal system is not getting response, or whatever internal system is getting the response, you also want to go ahead and validate it from maybe a search system. Okay. So if that is what your interest is, that is where I was trying to take. Is it okay?
Yeah, got it. So like anything that we wanted to give access to a public information
Yes,
which
yes,
is
yes. Yes.
accessible.
Yeah, you're right.
And we can
Yes.
combine this with our RAG also, right? And
Absolutely, absolutely.
give
Because it
better
does a
result.
RAG only at the
Okay.
end, it will do a RAG only. So let me just copy this key. Till the time it is running, let us just try this out. I'll just copy this, and I need the endpoint. I have the endpoint, I just need the, so let me just take the key. And to be very frank, the results are really amazing. The kind of result that it generates are amazing. So let me just put it this way. And the models are there. Now let me just run. I have created 3 scripts because I just wanted to update on that. So let me just run this first one, which is search.py. And let me just show you what do we have in this search.py. Just see what is there. I'll just show you what do we have. In this if I can just show it to you, we are making a request, get request to this .com.search with the parameters. One is the query. How many queries do we want? By default, it can do 3 queries. Okay, top 3 queries it takes. Then it takes key, and then the engine. I think we can change the engine also. We can check for different engine. Okay. Then after that, what we are saying, I'm just printing that SERP API. If I click on this, this is a SERP search. This is actually a proper search that you're getting from Google. Okay, this is actually a proper search that you're getting from Google. And based on this search, the total search, it has taken the top 3 search and it has gone ahead and given me a result. The next thing that we need to understand, if I go here, I'm integrating this GPT. If you see, when I'm getting a response, I'm saying you are a helpful assistant that summarizes search result. Okay. And then I'm saying you provide insight based on the provided snippet. Okay. If I go down here, you can see that here I have written recent advancement for student of Taiwan University with respect to smart city, because I just took a session for them, right? So I just, or maybe I want to say, tell me about the latest update, okay, latest update with respect to Iran-Israel news. We'll just Israel. We'll just try to, because this is one of the hottest thing, right? So we'll just try to see. So we are just trying to get the latest update. And now if I just run this piece of, okay, it will be able to go ahead and this is the search URL. The suggest that Al Qaeda Khomeini claimed victory in a conflict with Israel, even though sufficient setbacks were inflicted. Now, if I actually open this, okay, if I actually open this, we do have multiple search, and this is where you need to understand. This is the Google URL. Okay? If I actually open this URL, you will see that it is actually a working URL, and it is actually taking the result from this page. That's it is taking the result from this. Okay, so in this page, whatever URLs are there, okay, based on this URL, whatever is the top URL, it is going to go ahead and give you the result. Okay, now let me just make a change here. Rather than this, let me run this piece of code. The only thing that I've changed here is, let me open the terminal again. Let me just run this piece. Let me just call it a serve and location. Here I can also enter my query directly in the console. So let me just ask a question. What is 2 plus 2? Let me just try this out. Okay. And I think we are getting 2 plus what is from Quora, we are getting something. 2 plus 2 the is 4. And the reference link, if you can see, I'm getting the reference link. All right. Based on this, it is able to say what is 2 plus 2. It is doing something. Okay. If you go to this link, you will be able to find. And this is the serve, and this is the reference link based on which the answer got generated, the top link. Okay. So there are multiple links, right? Based on what it will go ahead and generate, you can click on this and you can open. Hopefully, this will be a workable, right? This is where we are saying 2 plus 2 is equal to. All right. Again, that just an extension using GPT, and which is amazing. Now, similar to
One
that, if I
question,
want
sir.
to, sorry.
One question. So, are you using this the key and endpoint here for the SERP also?
Yeah. I'm using the key of the serve. Can you see?
Okay.
I have a key. You also can get a key for free. That's free.
So, is it like you're sending your search query to this SERP
So yes,
and getting your
absolutely.
response back to your
To the LLM,
okay.
and then LLM is formatting them. Now
Okay.
I'll show you one more thing here. Actually, if I show you search hyphen n, okay. If I go here, I have put something. Okay, so here again it is taking the top three responses and then giving the response from the most you can say most appropriate you can say response that LLM feels to get it generated. Now let me just try the next one, which is search NN. I wanted to allow two things here. I'll just show you. First, I wanted to allow the query to be written. What is 2 plus 2? Then I also want to say enter the number of search result to analyze. Default is 3. Let me say 10 or let me say 20. Kind of response that it will give. If I open this time, it will take all the 20 things and then it will give me a response. And now you can see I'm getting a response from this. Many things with respect to this. Now we just need to refer what is the reference link, but here you can see I'm getting some response. I hope that makes sense. So this is again something that you can integrate into your RAG to be able to incorporate live data, okay, maybe a search data, okay, which is actually not just search, it is also searching through the page, not just searching through the link, going through the link, opening the page, even YouTube, anything open available, Wikipedia, Atlas, you can see everything. Let us just try something else if you want. Let us just see how to win a test match, okay, in England or India in test. Is it really possible? Let me just take the top one result. I'm opening the top. Okay. The result appears to be from a Reddit. Okay. Again, I'm getting a response, but if I show you here, the result appears to be from a Reddit. Reddit discussing India's performance in the first match of this. Okay. Analysis, the frustration. Okay. If Prasid Krishna played a pivotal role in the event, something is there. You can check that. Okay. I wanted to get a response, and whatever is there is my. Okay. He is being considered for the team struggle as per this Reddit search that you have taken. So just to give an example, this is what we are able to do. Now let us just come back. This is all done. Extraction of the information. Okay, so I've extracted information from two documents. Now let me just extract the information from images. So let me just run is. So making sense about SERP, everyone, those who are part of the session, what is SERP? How does it really, like if we want to integrate it here, trust me, we can even do that integration, but we need to have a whole, you can say, use case in our mind wherein we want to have a logical conclusion to where we want to end up using SERP, right? So that can also be one of the thing you can use SERP. There are other engines also, but SERP connection is directly there. If you want to integrate a custom API key also, that is also there in Azure. So SERP was directly there. That's the reason I used it. But there are other engines also that you can custom integrate into Azure. Okay, custom APIs are also you can use. So right now, let the images happen up. Now, till this time, till the time it is happening, let me show you what is this vector index. Okay, so when I show you vector index, see what is there in the vector index is, I am saying I want an ID, I want content, I want source, I want type. These four things. ID will be a string, content will be a string, source will be a string, type will be a string, and then I want embedding, which will be of the time collection, okay, which is going to have a dimension of 1536. Why I'm saying 1536? Because I have kept the backend dimension also as 1536, and here I am using a vector search profile. You can, like, just to show you how to create this, okay. uh, okay, so I'll just come here. I want to create something, so I'll just come here. I want to have an index, right? So I can click here and I can add an index. Okay, so what do I want? I can give an index name. Let me just call this index as Jalal. Now, one of the field will be coming by default. You can make it retrievable, filterable, sortable. Apart from that, you can add different fields and you can make any one of this condition possible. The point is, there is one more thing that I want to add, which is embedding. Okay. So the moment I add embedding, if I change the type to what you say, if I change the type, I'll just close this sub. If I change the type to edm.single collection, let me just use this collection. Okay. If I change the type of this from this to collection, you will see that we have edm.string for collection. Once I select this, okay, edm.string, right? If I want to use that, I can use edm.single also. Okay, I do not want this, sorry. I want edm.single. So do we have edm.single? Yeah, I have that. Now under, when I select, sorry, there is some issue. When I select edm.single, you can see that I can specify the dimension. I told the dimension of this generally should match to the dimension that we have for the vector profile. So if you want it to be searchable, retrievable, if you want to create a vector profile, if you want to create an algorithm, okay, you can specify. There are different types of algorithms. Okay, exhaustive KNN, and the what type of similarity you want to use, you can use that also. Okay, everything is there. If you look into the vector information, you'll be able to find. Right now, what I'm saying, I'm just saying default, and I want to use HNSW. Okay, I want to use cosine, and this is the information. Apart from that, I have just told this is the parameter that is required when you want to use Azure OpenAI embedding. So right now you can see I'm using Azure OpenAI embedding, OpenAI key, everything I'm using it from there. The model name is also important. I think this is the problem. I just need to change the model name to resource ID should match to my variable, right? Where is my variable? I think this should be there. How was it able to do without this? Resource URI should match, right? Let me just check. I hope this is the thing. Let me just check where is the thing, create vector index, deployment ID. Okay, it will automatically take, this is the key if I'm not wrong. Is this a variable? No, it's not a variable. It's actually a variable that is already defined. Here I need to specify the model name. I can give any, this is just an information. So let me just give the correct model name that I already have. So I'll just use this. Okay, corrected model name. Now when I have this, now if I want to create a model index, okay, like I want to create a index, right? So I can just run this piece of line. It will actually go ahead and create an index based on what we have specified. Again, very important thing, to be very frank, I tried a lot. This is the API that supports OpenAI embedding. Earlier API are not supporting. 2024 July 1 API is really supporting. So I've just created a vector index. If I come up here, you can see that I've just created a vector index by the name urban index. Now, what do I want to do in this vector index? I want to go ahead and first I want to prepare my document. So every document, if you remember, I have in JSON format. So now I am going to take that document and enumerate it in batches directly here. Okay. Again, you can look through the code, prepare document. Okay. Now it is that there are two images that are empty also, to be very frank. 0439. There is one of the image. If I go into the image, to be very frank, if I go into my data of images, and if I check for 0439, sometimes it can happen that traffic accident incident image, it was empty. I don't know what is the reason. Sometimes one or two images are getting empty. But if I open this image to you, you can see this is the image. Though it should not have been empty, but sorry, traffic, right? 0439. Where is the traffic? 0439. This is the image. So right now this is getting empty. I don't know. It is not able to read GPT-4, maybe some issue. Okay, so right now everything is done. Two images were not being read. Apart from that, if I scroll up here, you can see that how many entries are going in here. Around 184 entries are going. In total, there were 186. Since two images were not read, it will read, and now it will upload all the documents. Okay, now I'm creating preparing the document, right? After preparing the document, once I prepare the document, that means it is actually here. Okay, you will see all the documents getting listed in some time here itself. Okay, this is done. Now, if I want to run a hybrid search on top of it, you already know what did I do. So I'll run a hybrid search. Rather than hybrid search, I would recommend just to not waste our time. Since I've got multiple things now, right? So let me just run a hybrid search. Earlier, there was only one thing, right? Now, let me just take this thing. Let me just say show traffic. I'll not say show traffic incident images reported in May because it cannot show images, but still let us just try. Okay, what is the output that we are getting? Now, if I show here, just see what are we getting. First thing is incident report I am getting. Okay, traffic incident word. So based on the incident, it used this, right? So I will not recommend this because it is only taking incident right now. If you can see, okay, which is coming from the PDFs. Okay, and then there are some protocols also that is also coming. Okay, and I can see. So rather than this, let me just put it this way. Okay. Let me just first clean the things. Rather than saying it this way, let me just say, I'm only getting the response from this. Let me just ask a question that we used there. Okay, let me just take, I'll not use this question only. Let me just take this. Tell me about collapse building incidents. Because for this, I do not have any documents, right? That's the only thing that is hindering right now. So let me just clear the screen. Tell me about. And now you can see I'm getting the response from the image. Okay. I'm getting the response from the image. And based on this, suppose if I want to go ahead and it is actually working absolutely fine. Let me just try a RAG response on top of it. And I'm able to get the response with respect to the incident. If I want to set the number of tokens less, I can do that. And this is actually going to come from the image because If there are multiple things, it will go ahead and take multiple things also. If there is some dominant data, okay, with respect to, like, maybe we have something related to traffic, but I do not have it here. Okay, if it is there in the image, it will be able to take. But if it is giving more weightage to this, the way it has been written so clearly, right, as compared to the information that we have here, then it can automatically go ahead and query from here also. Okay, but if we want to have a diversified search, we can even go ahead and do that. Apart from that, we have also enabled historical search. Can you shorten the response?
So do we have the information
Sorry?
here? The response?
Yeah, sorry.
No, do we have the incident response also here?
Incident response. Yes, we do have the incident
No, from the query that we did right now.
Yeah,
To the RAG.
there must be. I have not referenced the document, to be very frank. If I would have referenced, then it would have been better. But if you want to see that hybrid search is actually what is going to come here in the RAG.
Correct. Hybrid was like we were getting incidents as separate responses.
Yeah, we were getting the search. So if you want to see, we'll just do one thing. We'll run a hybrid search to see whether it is taking that also. Okay, I'll just run this piece of line. Okay, collapse building incident. We'll just see what are we getting. Okay, here if I go, we are getting images also. Can you see? We will get image, type is image. Can you see?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is really good. We are getting type of image as well as incident. All right.
Okay.
And we can, yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching. We hope this project has helped you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to join our free masterclass, which I mentioned earlier. You can register through the link given in the description below. Also, you can watch this video next.